Something shifted in Nashville this week. A quiet announcement, a wave of messages from every corner of the music world, and the sudden realization that a voice that had felt permanent was gone. On August 25th, 2026, Dolly Parton passed away at the age of 80. She left this world after a private health battle that only fully came to light in her final days. What took her, and how the biggest names in entertainment and beyond responded, is a story filled with both heartbreak and the kind of love she spent a lifetime giving away. This is the full story of Dolly Parton, the mountain girl who became a global icon, the woman who built an empire while never forgetting where she came from, and the figure whose final chapter has left the world both grieving and grateful. From the mountains to the world. Born on January 19, 1946, in Sevier County, Tennessee, Dolly Rebecca Parton was the fourth of 12 children in a family that knew real hardship. They lived in a one-room cabin. Her father worked the land. Her mother sang old ballads while raising a house full of children. Dolly wrote her first song around the age of 6 and never stopped. She moved to Nashville the day after graduating high school, determined to make it. Within a few years, she was writing hits, joining Porter Wagoner's show, and then stepping out on her own. Songs like Coat of Many Colors, Jolene, I Will Always Love You, and 9 to 5 became part of the American songbook. She sold more than 100 million records, crossed into film, and built a persona so distinctive that the big hair and rhinestones became as famous as the music itself. Yet the most remarkable part was never the fame. It was how completely she remained herself, the quiet love of a lifetime. In 1966, Dolly married Carl Thomas Dean, a private Nashville businessman she met outside a laundromat when she was 18. Their marriage lasted nearly 60 years until Carl's death in March 2025 at age 82. He stayed almost entirely out of the spotlight, running an asphalt business and rarely appearing at her events. Dolly often said he loved her before the fame, and that freedom gave her the space to work without limits. They never had children of their own. Dolly spoke about that choice with characteristic honesty. She believed it allowed her to treat the world's children as hers, a belief that would shape one of her most lasting legacies, a fortune built and shared. At the time of her death, Dolly's net worth was estimated around $650 million. Much of it came from her music, touring, film work, and smart business moves. Her most visible success was Dollywood, the theme park she opened in 1986 in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It became both a major attraction and a source of jobs for her home region. Her longtime residence was a large estate known as Willow Lake Plantation in Brentwood, Tennessee. She also held other properties and investments, but Dolly was never defined by what she owned. She was defined by what she gave, the Imagination Library and a life of giving. In 1995, she launched the Imagination Library, a program that mails free books to children from birth until they start school. By 2026, it was reaching nearly 850,000 children each month across multiple countries and had distributed hundreds of millions of books. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she donated $1 million that supported research connected to the Moderna vaccine. Education, health, and her East Tennessee roots remained constant focuses of her giving. The final chapter. In the year leading up to her death, Dolly had faced growing health challenges. She cancelled a Las Vegas residency, citing kidney stones and problems with her immune and digestive systems. In May 2026, she said she needed to stay closer to home for treatment. On August 21st, she was admitted to the Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center in Nashville. 4 days later, after what her representatives described as a brief battle with cancer, she passed away, surrounded by family. Tributes from across the world. The response was immediate and deeply felt. Her nephew Brian Seaver announced the news on behalf of the family, calling her sister, sis, and granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. The Country Music Hall of Fame remembered her as someone who shared her fortunes for the good of all of us. Fellow artists, from country legends to pop stars who had covered her songs, shared personal memories of her kindness and encouragement. Political figures and cultural institutions joined in, many noting that Dolly had somehow managed to belong to everyone without ever seeming to belong to any single group. What stood out in the tributes was not just admiration for the music, it was gratitude for the person, the woman who made people feel seen, who laughed at herself, and who treated generosity as a natural part of success, an enduring light. Dolly Parton leaves behind songs that still comfort and delight, a theme park that employs thousands, a literacy program that continues mailing books to children, and an example of how far talent, determination, and kindness can travel. She never had biological children, yet she mothered a cultural generation. She never pretended to be anyone else, and in doing so, she gave countless others permission to be themselves. From a cabin on the Little Pigeon River to the bright lights of the world stage, Dolly Parton lived a life that felt almost mythical. The rhinestones will keep shining, the songs will keep playing, and the books will keep arriving in children's mailboxes long after she is gone. Rest in peace, Dolly. Thank you for the music, the laughter, and the love.